Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sedona International Film Festival. I'm your host Carol Kahn. We are coming to you live from Sedona Rouge Hotel and Spa. Sedona Rouge is one of our sponsors along with Broadcast Rentals and Sedona Advertising Agency. Thank you to our sponsors for participating in this year's festival. And I'd like to introduce you to John Gray, his film Extra Innings. And John is no stranger to television and film.
Yes, this is true.
So modest.
Most people think that I'm some filmmaker's father when I show up at these festivals.
Not really. So just give us a little brief synopsis of the kind of work that you've done, because it's pretty massive.
Well, I've been lucky enough to work in film and television for over 30 years now. I've done mostly television. I've done a couple of different television series and many television movies and about 4 or 5 feature films. And I've written pretty much everything I've directed, which has been another very lucky thing for me. And so it's kind of an odd, I'm now turning to short films, which is how I started as like a 12-year-old. But at a certain point, you look at your career and you just start to wonder, am I leading it or is it leading me? And the whole film business and TV business has become so corporate and so committee. I found myself longing for those days when I was a kid and I could just go out and make a movie and not have to play Mother May I with anybody. I just did it. And so I realized, after all these years, I had a family of collaborators and people who could help me, and I wasn't as broke as I was when I was a teenager. And I started making these short films to just stay creative. Well, I'm still developing things and just trying to deal with the glacial pace of all things Hollywood. So in the meantime, I try to make a film like this every year, and it keeps me creative and supple, and it keeps me working with people I like to work with.
Right.
It's fun.
I know, and you're very modest because one of the shows that you worked on was The Horse Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Ghost Whisperer.
Ghost Whisperer, yes, something about
Horse
that.
Whisperer, Robert Redford, big difference.
Well, it could be about that too, just whispering.
Right, whispering in general.
And so is this your first time in Sedona?
It is, yes, and I'm just loving it. I drove from the airport here, from Phoenix, and it was just the most remarkable experience driving through that desert in Red Rock, and I just never seen anything quite so beautiful.
And it's the first time in the Sedona Film Festival.
Yes, yeah.
Well, if you're doing one of these a year, we need to see more.
Okay, I'll make a note of that.
All right, so let's just play the clip and then we'll talk more.
Sure.
Okay.
Love to talk about
What outlet do you write for?
I'm freelance.
Ah, French, for unemployed.
I want to talk about your life.
That's worse. No one cares.
A lot.
Did they send you to see if I was losing it, or see if I can't remember anything anymore?
Was it the rumors about other women?
So that's why you're really here? To dig up dirt on me? How the hell do you know about what I want? I don't like being bullshitted. Get out.
Well, when I saw the short, I told you I cried when I saw it. It was very touching and emotional, and it also just had the whole entire television version of you're hanging on, and then it's like, no, it can't end. It can't end right there.
Good, yeah.
So what inspired you to do this film?
Well, it was a lot of things. I mean, some of it was just very practical. Just that I want to do a film that I could just do in 9 minutes and sort of make an impact. And it's a little hard to talk about the film without revealing a twist.
Right.
So I don't know if I should do that or not.
I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm not going to ruin it.
Right.
You can ruin it.
I mean, all I can tell you is that it is a film about a very, very aggressive sports reporter who is interviewing the manager of the Boston Red Sox. And as this interview goes on, we start to suspect that there are secrets buried in this man's past, this manager's past, that this reporter is trying to dig out and trying to expose.
And I wish you could talk more about it. Because it touches on topics today. I mean, really, it talks about, I'm not sure if he had Alzheimer's or dementia, but it kind of talks a little bit about that as well. So it's such an important subject today to bring out, and it's frightening, because all of us don't want to end up in that situation, but you don't know. You don't know if life deals your cards that way.
Yeah. Well, given we're not going to worry about the revealing a twist. A lot of the inspiration of this came from my own mother, who spent her last years in an assisted living facility. And she had a touch of dementia. It wasn't very serious, but she could no longer live alone, and she had to be there. And I really felt for her, my brother and I, because, we just can't imagine what it's like to leave your home and to give up everything that's familiar to be in this new place. And for her, luckily, she grew to love that place, and it became a home for her. But at first, it was very, very difficult, and I found myself wondering, what could I do? Is there anything I can do to just make this a more fun experience for her, make this more interesting for her? And I never really found the answer to that, except later when I started thinking about this movie and how to make a film about that situation. And I couldn't do anything like that for her, but I thought, well, what if someone could and did? That's sort of where it came from.
That's beautiful. As a filmmaker, do you find that a lot of your films has a part of you in the film, such as something like this?
Yes. In fact, usually when I was working, years ago, I would take assignments. Basically, someone would approach my agent and say, "Okay, here's a movie we want to make. It's based on this book, or it's based on this. Will John write this and direct this?" And as opposed to something that I came to them with, and said, "Here, this is something from me." But even if it was something that didn't originate with me, I had to find something personal in it to connect to, even if it wouldn't be obvious to anybody when they watch the film. But I would have to find either a character or a relationship or some comment on the world that resonated with me. And if I couldn't find those things, I wouldn't do the movie, because I wouldn't know how to do it. So yes, I try to, even if it's something that didn't originate from me, I try to make sure that there's a piece of me in it in as many ways as possible.
Mm-hmm. And is your film, it has not been shown yet, has it?
No, it's being shown tonight at 7 o'clock at Harkins. I think it's Harkins 1. And then it's on Saturday at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Also at Harkins, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear audience reactions to
Me
it.
either, yeah. Me too.
Do you get nervous at all? I mean, you've been doing this for so long, but just to sit in an audience and hear people's comments, is that nerve-wracking?
Completely nerve-wracking, and particularly with a film like this that you don't often see with audiences. I've done some feature films and been on the festival circuit, and after a while you kind of relax because things work and you can see there's a good reaction here, and you kind of come to be relaxed about it because you know it's going to be okay. But with a short film like this, it's very rare that we see it with an audience. And so, as it starts, it's like, oh my God, people are going to laugh, or they're going to like it, or it's going to be ridiculous. Suddenly it's like much bigger than you've ever seen it before. And so everything seems amplified, all your mistakes and everything. So it is nerve-wracking to see the film. Never changes.
Well, I can't wait to hear more. Are you working on any new projects?
Well, I'm developing a couple of other television series, but I've also just finished shooting a little horror short called Household Demons. And I'm about to shoot a thriller short in May out in L.A. So just trying to keep the shorts coming.
Awesome. Well, John, it's so nice to have you here in Sedona.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And you have to keep coming back. You have to promise.
I hope so. I'd love to, yes. Yes, you bet.
Awesome. And if you're following us on social media, it's hashtag Sedona Film Fest 2020 and tag us hashtag Sedona Film Fest 26. We'll be back with more filmmaker interviews after this.